Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys here. Now, today is Thursday, April 25th, 2019. There wasn't a whole lot of news yesterday in the cryptocurrency space. But, well, I didn't have a show yesterday. Wasn't a whole lot of news. But today we got stuff happening. And we're going to get the charts open right here and take a look at what's going on. JP Morgan, he's expanding out his new cross-border payment system. He's signed 220 banks worldwide along the way, to this new JP Morgan coin. So it's expanding big time. Now, here's the thing. These other banks, they're not stupid. They're saying to themselves, and they got to be saying to themselves this morning, if JP Morgan Bank can do this and create all these new tokens, and these new tokens are worth dollars, then why can't we do it too? Why can't we have our own token for our bank as well, And they're probably watching JP Morgan Bank very carefully to see what's going to happen with all this. And when they see success by JP Morgan Bank, they'll be entering in their bank tokens as well. Now, the central banks are not going to be left out of this action either. They're getting ready to have tokens, And what this tokenizing does, because what they're actually doing is they're tokenizing the US dollar, is actually increasing the bank's money creation tool. And right now, there's nobody out there to borrow money. So how do they create money? How does a bank create money? A fractional reserve lending bank create money is by lending money out. When they lend money out, this is their tool for creating money. And because there's not a whole lot of people borrowing right now, their tool is being not used to create money as much as they'd like it to be used. This new tokenization, though, is like creating more bank shares almost, It's like a new racket that the bankers have, to create more money. This will increase inflation, eventually if it gets large enough. So evidently JP Morgan's pushing things. He's got 220 banks signed. It says on April 21st it was revealed on the 21st of April, JP Morgan Chase, the United States' largest bank with over $2.62 trillion in assets, is planning to widen the use of its blockchain system. Specifically, JPM is adding new features to its interbank information, which it now uses at more than 220 banks across the globe. With JPM Coin launched earlier this year, it seems that the U.S. financial institution is increasingly betting on blockchain, pushing crypto closer to mainstream adoption. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at another article here. XRP. Ripple. Now, Ripple is got a lot of hype behind it. There's been an awful lot of people buying it and saying that Ripple's going to be used for transactions and stuff. Report from the XRP community shows that the token holders are really worried. Their concern borders on the rate at which Ripple, the major stakeholder of XRP, have been clinching partnership with banks and other companies. What XRP holders see as a challenge is that Ripple partnership does not add value to XRP utility volume because the majority of those payment paths do not utilize XRP. It says, you got to get this. It doesn't matter if we partnered with every bank in the world. XRP won't move until the higher people allow it to. In other words, what's actually happening is it appears like it's not being used as much as people say it's being used. I see another huge problem with XRP is the fact that they've got 50 billion of these stored away. You know? And so I see huge problems with XRP. XRP is... I had a bit of holdings at XRP. I had like 400 of them. You know, okay, that's not a lot. I know some of you guys have really hoarded them big. I had like 400 of them. I've traded them off, you know, for Bitcoin, because I just don't see this as being... I see it as a lot of hype, you know, but those... Every time I think about the hype, I think about those 50 billion XRP that they're holding. You know, do we have... how much hype... I mean, take Bitcoin, for instance. What would Bitcoin's price do if we had somebody holding 50 billion Bitcoin someplace? You know, and we knew they were holding them. But, okay, they were only going to distribute 21 million, right, to all the people here. But say they had 50 billion Bitcoin being held in reserve. If you're like, what the... You know, okay, so enough said. Let's take a look at this article right here. Bitcoin faces a deeper price pullback before the rally continuation. You know, okay, I'm just going to say one more thing about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, there's 17 million of them, which is a very, very small number of them out there right now. And there can only ever be 21 million. Well, Bitcoin's continually being lost, plus the hard limit. When you put these two things together at the same time, you've got something that's a hoarder's dream, you know? So Bitcoin has got the edge it needs. Plus it's got the name. So the big name in the world of cryptocurrencies is Bitcoin. And I don't see that going away. I see it continuing as a big name. And this is the reason why I think that during this, we've already had this little bit of a pullback. We were already up to like 184 billion market cap a few days ago. And we're having a little pullback. We're in the 170s now. This pullback might continue. It might get a little bit worse. I don't see the price breaking down and going down real low like these guys that say it's going to go down to $2,000 or whatever. If you're waiting for that, I think you might be waiting while Bitcoin goes through the next rally. If you're waiting for $2,000 Bitcoin. But the price could settle down here from 5,000. It could break down into the upper 4,000s, easy enough. But then it'll probably come back up into the 5,000s again later. And later, at a certain point, it's going to go back into the bull market. I've already set my timing for this. I believe that once it crosses $6,500, it's on its way. Okay? And we've been easing up toward there. We've been getting more... people are getting more used now to the price being around 5,000 instead of 3,000s. You know, but I see we're having fluctuations, and it says here, Bitcoin faces deeper price pullbacks before the rally continues. Bitcoin fell more than 1% yesterday, confirming a bearish divergence on the 14-day relative strength index by an early sign of bearish reversal. Bitcoin is falling to levels below 5,000 in the next few days. This is what they think it could do. It's possible that it could fall below 5,000 in the next few days. And the thing is they're going to hit support. Probably around 4,800. They're going to hit support. Probably strong support. So we could see this fluctuation continue for a few more days. But this is exactly what it's doing. What I said it would do, I said we were going to go sideways. And basically going sideways means going up and down, but basically following that sideways theme. You know what I mean? And I see that doing this. I see it doing this until the next rally starts. Basically going between 6,000 and 4,000. Or thereabouts. Maybe even 6,000 in the upper 3,000s. somewhere along in there, just kind of floating along, giving you lots of opportunity to buy for the next couple months. I'm thinking for the next 2 or 3 months, probably. Seriously. And then it's starting to take off. And when it takes off, it's going to be a little bit slow at first, but then it's going to heat up hotter and hotter, and it's going to go into a mania. It's going to go into a Bitcoin mania, and that's when Bitcoin is going to start to come out of this where it's been all along, and start to move into worldwide adoption. It's going to go into a mania, a crazy mania, and prices are going to be ridiculous. But that's what we're waiting for. And we might have to wait a few more months. But believe me, the wait's going to be worth it, And this is a time where probably, now this is not financial advice, this is just what I'm doing. This is my time for accumulation. Or try to accumulate as much as I can. Money is tight. But still, this is a golden opportunity the way I see it. Listen, thank you guys for listening to this market report. And remember, it's fine to spend your lottery money on Bitcoins, because you're never going to win the lottery anyway. It's fine to spend your cigarette money on Bitcoins, because they're not good for you. But don't go spending your rent money on Bitcoins. Don't go running. Do not go running your credit cards up on Bitcoins. Don't do stuff like that. But thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye, guys.